Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a really quick video with some more tips and tricks on how to do nose contour. I feel like a lot of people are intimidated by contouring their nose, and I really just want to show you how easy it is. It's really not that scary, especially using mascara, because mascara is just so easy to use. So I'm going to do it two ways. For the first way that I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it really easy to show you how you can do it in like 10 seconds. Then the second way I'm going to show you is going to be more detailed and more precise, and it'll take longer. So let's get to it. So as you can see, I don't have any makeup on my nose right now at all. I did my whole hack of my whole face, but I didn't put any makeup on my nose. So that's how we're gonna start. I have a little bit of highlight kind of on the sides of my nose just from blending, but that's it. So that's where we're gonna start. I'm gonna use the 30-second hack brush to do this first way that I'm gonna show you. And this is going to be a lot more approachable, very easy. You can literally do this in 10 seconds. I'm going to use this brush because this is the one I tend to recommend the most frequently for people who are just starting out with mascara, because it's very user-friendly, it's very versatile, you can do your whole face with this one brush, so I tend to recommend it a lot. So I'm going to show you how I do that with just this one brush. So we're going to do it the easy peasy way. So first thing I'm going to do is put my Brightening Highlight down the center of my nose. That's going to be the lighter highlight shade that you use more for your T-zone area and your under eye area to bring a lot of brightness. So that's what we're going to use first. And I'm going to use this tapered end of the brush right here for more precision. I'm using Moonlit right now, so I just dab a teeny tiny bit in that Moonlit shade. And I'm just going to swipe that down the center of my nose. Doesn't have to be super precise at this point. There, done. Now, I'm going to take the rounded end of my brush and I'm going to pinch it so that it's skinny. Once again, more precise, just like that. I'm just gonna take that in my contour, and I'm gonna be using Astoria today. So I'm gonna dip that into my contour like this while it's pinched so that I can get like a stripe of color, just like that. And I'm just gonna run this down either side of my nose on what I would call the corners of my nose. So the brush will be a little bit on the side of my nose and a little bit on the top, just on the corners. And what I'm going to be doing is creating two lines of contour down either side of my nose. The closer together that these two lines of contour are to each other, the slimmer your nose will look. So that's what we're going to do. If you put these lines really far apart, your nose will look wider. So that's generally, for most people, what we want to do is make the nose look slimmer. So I'm going to take this on the corner of my nose here and just run down the side like that. Get a little bit more product and run it down the other side. I have a little bit of a bump in my nose, as you can see there. I'm not really worrying about that too much right now, but I am making sure that these two lines are straight. If you have a nose that's a little bit crooked, you can make your nose look straighter by just making sure that these two lines that you're drawing are straight as possible. Then I'll take a little bit more contour, and I always like to just run a little bit of that under the tip of my nose to really refine the tip and make my nose look like it's not as long, so it's a little shorter. Okay, and that's it. Now all I have to do is blend. So I'm gonna use the same brush. I just wiped off any excess on my hand. There really wasn't any, but just in case. Now to blend, you just wanna make sure that there are no lines on your face. You just want to diffuse the contour and the highlight into each other. Sometimes I'll swipe inward like this to make sure we're blending those lines as close together as possible. Another really great way to blend your nose contour is to take this brush and to just bounce it. Just bounce it on those lines. Don't want to over blend and erase all the beautiful contouring that you just did. Just like that. Now my nose looks a little bit more slim and cute. And the last step that I like to do is a little bit of Illuminator. So I'm gonna take some Illuminator on my finger. It's a little bit shiny. I just like to put that on the tip of my nose. And then I'll take whatever's left on my finger and just kind of run it up the center of the nose. And that's it, and it'll make it look like you have a glow. You should not have any lines on your nose when you turn your head from side to side. And that's it. So now I'm gonna go remove this, and then I'm gonna show you a little bit more of a precise way of doing this to your nose. A little bit more time, but it's gonna be gorgeous. Okay, I'm back. I just used some micellar water to remove all the makeup on my nose. So we're gonna start from scratch again. This time I'm going to use a smaller, more precise brush. So I'm gonna use the Blend and Tap brush. This is typically an eyeshadow brush, but it's perfect for using for your contour and highlight. It's very densely packed bristles. I like using this one for contour because it's slimmer. You see how it's more paddle shaped, so it's more slim, so I can really get precise with my two lines. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna use Indigo Contour this time, just because it's darker and more pigmented, and I really want you to see what I'm doing. And it also will illustrate that even if you use a super dark color, it still blends out beautifully, and you'll see. So I'm gonna take that side of my brush and I'm gonna dip that into Indigo. This is what Indigo looks like. It's a little bit darker. So, okay. I'm gonna draw the lines down either side of my nose, focusing on the bridge of my nose here. This is actually pretty difficult to do. It's actually difficult to do without a mirror, so I'm gonna hold a mirror and actually do it in my mirror because I don't want to mess up what I'm doing. I want these lines to be straight. So you see how there's this bone right here that brings it up into your brow? I'm kind of following the curve of that line, going down the center of my nose, straight down the tip, and on the side as well. So as you can see, as close as these lines are to each other, look how skinny my nose looks. Looks a little crazy right now, but once you blend it, it'll look awesome. Then I'm going to take a little bit more contour and I'm going to draw a little V under the tip of my nose. Just like that. Okay. Now for this part, I just like using my finger. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna take my pinky finger, my smallest finger. I'm gonna dip that into Moonlit, my Brightening Accent Highlight shade. And I'm gonna draw a super skinny line, straight line up the center of my nose, in between those two lines of contour that I just drew. Ugh, this is what happens when I use my phone as a camera. I kind of messed it up here. Okay. All right. Now, I think I'm gonna hit pause on this right now because I want to take a picture of this looking all crazy. And then I'll be back to blend. Okay, I'm back. So now I'm gonna blend this out. Super easy, and we're done. So I'm gonna use the rounded end of my 30-second hack brush to do the blending. And I like to just blend the lines so that they're not as obvious, but I like to keep the darkness and the lightness where I originally placed it so that I don't erase what I just did. The best way to do this, once again, is just to bounce the brush on those lines. Just tap, tap, tap. You can swipe up and swipe down a little bit, but I don't want to just mix all those colors together because then the shadow will disappear from where we originally put it. So I really like to stipple the brush. Just bounce, 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 tap, tap. Blending up into those brows. Blend down the sides a little bit. But that's it. I don't like to do too much blending. Then, of course, the last step is Illuminator. So I'm gonna use my finger for that as well and just tap a little bit of cream Illuminator on my tip of my nose and then up the bridge of my nose. And that's it. And when you turn your head to the side, you shouldn't see any obvious lines anywhere, but my nose, I just feel like it looks cuter. It looks more dimensional. You're really just accentuating the natural shadows that already exist on either side of your nose and just bringing more attention to the center of your face. That's the whole idea behind highlighting and contouring. And so that's what we have done today. So now my look is complete. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them below. Just let me know if you need help. If you want a color match, you can fill out my color match form in the description box down below, and I'll help you pick out some colors that would work for not just your nose contour, but for your whole face. And we can build you a custom makeup palette. So let me know if you need any help. But thanks for watching, guys. Bye.